Hello, my name is Rebecca. Welcome back to Miss Finance. On this channel, I go through all things accounting, finance, and investment related. So if you do like this kind of stuff, please do consider subscribing. And otherwise, let's get straight into the video. So today we're going to have a look at a practice assessment that would be really useful if you're currently studying towards your AAT Level 3 Synoptic exam, because there is an element in that exam that tests you on Excel. So we're going to go through a practice assessment to hopefully help you with your understanding and help you to pass the exam first time. So on the left, we have this information where Properties Limited has got a budget of £210,000 of revenue. We have materials, direct labour, variable overheads, fixed overheads, and sales volume of 10,000 units. Now, on the annual analysis tab, we're being asked to prepare some information for the manager here, and that information is provided in this Word document on the right. So we're just going to go down this line by line and hopefully prepare something that is in line with our manager's expectations. So first off, the company had originally budgeted to make and sell 10,000 units in a year, but they actually made 12,000 units in a year and sold 12,000 units. So the first thing that we're being told here is just that information. I'm just going to highlight it to show that we've dealt with it. Is to copy the information in cells C3 to C13 on the proposed budget tab. So C3 to C13, right click and copy. And we're going to pop this onto the annual analysis tab in column E, which makes sense because that was our budget under 10,000 units. So I've just used the paste special values there just to pop that in there. Okay, so ensuring that all lines line up correctly. So revenue, all that seems to be in line to me. So let's move on. Let's get highlight in green. So calculate the percentage to flex this budget in line with the information about sales. Okay, so we made 12,000 sales, but we had a budget of 10, so let's get that the right way around. So we actually made 1.2% more sales than what we were expecting, or 120%. So that's fine, that's been entered into D1. And again, I've just done that by taking up the 12,000 units that we actually made and divide that by the 10 that we had expected. In cell F7, type in actual. Make sure that you don't have caps on, that might help. So highlight that in green, that's fine. Calculate the new budget for all the relevant entries using absolute referencing. So when it's saying using absolute referencing, it just wants us to make sure that we include our workings basically. So if I take that revenue there and then times that by 120, I'm just going to fix D1 because I don't want that to move as I'm taking this down. Now I'm going to take that up to the materials because fixed overheads will not change. They're fixed for a reason, meaning that they don't flex with the budget. So I'm just going to reference that up, as you can see here. And then with scenario 1, what I'm actually going to do is take the sales revenue. So in E9, I'm going to divide that by the 10,000 units and times that by the 6,500 units. So here, I'm going to fix E6 and D6. And again, I'm just going to drag that down. And in scenario 3, where we've made 12,500, I'm going to do the same thing again. So take the revenue of 210,000, divide that by the 10,000 units, times by the 12,500. And I'm going to fix E6 and G6 like that. Okay, highlight the cells that are fixed in a yellow of any colour. Okay, so I'm just going to use this little bucket here and I'm going to select a yellow, and you can find it under home and font. Okay, in cell H7, enter the title variance in year. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap that just so that you can see it on here. It doesn't ask you to do that, but I'm just going to do that here. In column H, now calculate the variance for each revenue and cost. So the variance here is going to be the difference between what actually happened and our budget. So I'm going to take what's in F9 minus E9 and just carry that all the way down, as you can see here. So just as an additional check, you can see here that there's no variance between the overheads because again they were fixed so they don't move. Now in cell A21, type in the title operating profit analysis. So A21. I'm just going to type over there. So we've now got operating profit analysis. Now calculate the operating profit for scenario 1, current budget, actual scenario. So to do this, just take the revenue figure and then just take off all the costs. So I can actually drag this all the way down so that includes the fixed as well. So there we can see the operating profit of 13,555 for the scenario 1, 57470 for the current budget, and 82564 for actual, and 88838 for scenario 3. So I'm just going to highlight that in green. Now calculate the total variance in cell H21. So the variance again is going to be between the actual and the current budget. So that's just going to be that minus that. So F21 minus E21, and that gives us a variance of 25094. Use conditional formatting to highlight all non-favourable variances in red. Okay, now when you're dealing with sales and costs, you're going to have two different conditional formats because these here are showing that, for instance, there we had costs of 6720 versus 5600. So those have gone up. But if your variance on sales goes up, then it's a favourable variance. So I'm going to go to home, I'm going to go to conditional formatting, highlight cells, and then I'm going to say highlight cells that are greater than, say, 0. And then here, highlight cells that are less than 0. Okay, copy and paste the information in rows A9 to G21 into A25 to G37. Okay, and just make sure they haven't changed as well when you're doing this. Delete the row that shows direct labour, unskilled labour. So that's this one here, row 30. So I'm just going to right click and click on delete. Colour cell A25 in blue. So again, I'm just going to go to home, font, and select blue. Make sure that all column headings are in bold and italic. So our column headings here are referring to these. So bold and italic. And I'm going to change those as well to bold and italic. And these as well to bold and italic. Next, produce a subtotal underneath each of the categories shown in column A in the new table. So I'm just going to type in equals subtotal. So here you get a list of things that you can use. So I'm going to do 9. I want subtotal 9 and then my range value, which is just that there. And I'm going to do that, drag that across. And I can just copy that in where necessary and just change that to include what it needs to. Let's do that for all of these. Copy that there and there, as you can see. Okay, and that's produces the subtotal. Next, format the subtotals so that they are in italic. So I'm just going to highlight all of them, and then I'm going to press Ctrl and I on my keyboard, or you can go to Home and select I like that. And then finally hide the detail to only show the subtotals and grand total. Okay, so if I just right click and hide, press down, hide, right click and hide, right click and hide. So here, if you wanted a grand total, it would just be that, minus that, minus that, minus that, minus that. I'm just going to drag that along. So that's the final total. It's okay. And now sign the sheet with your initials in cell I1. Okay. There we go. So that's that. So hope you found this video useful. As always, do consider subscribing and I shall see you on the next video.